Hello, and welcome everyone to a very special episode of Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? I'm your host, Jeff Metric, and here we question everything, roll our eyes at nonsense, and talk about political ideologies that say you can do whatever you want, just don't hurt anyone or my property. We've got a jam-packed show today full of intriguing tidbits, a dash of irrelevance, and a healthy serving of laughter. So buckle up, because if there's one thing that gets a libertarian's heart racing, it's the opportunity to drive on roads they apparently don't want to pay for. Now, if you're new to this show, let me explain how it usually goes. We talk big, juicy concepts like the bandwagon fallacy, and we hold it up to the light, making sure we understand it from top to bottom. Then we'll sprinkle in some libertarian viewpoints, test your critical thinking, and see if by the end you can confidently say you're smarter than a libertarian. But wait, what exactly is the bandwagon fallacy, you ask? It's that so common logical mistake where people think something must be true or good just because a bunch of folks believe it. Think of it as the everyone's doing it, so it must be right logic. And we're here to tell you that's definitely not how it works. If it were, pineapples would never end up on pizza. Let's break it down. The bandwagon fallacy says the popularity of an idea, be it social, political, or culinary, does not necessarily reflect its truth or value. For instance, if 90% of people suddenly decide that we should pay our taxes exclusively in llama spit, now bear with me. That wouldn't make it a great idea, but we humans love to jump on bandwagons. We see a big group of people cheering for something, and we're like, hey, I want to be a part of the crowd too. The question is, does that crowd represent something valuable, or are they just chanting random slogans with no solid evidence? Look at what Chuck Schumer was chanting in front of the USAID building. This ties in so beautifully with libertarian thought, because libertarians often find themselves on the opposite side of the bandwagon. Been there many, many times. They're the ones in the corner going, wait, you want to give more power to the government. Are you sure about that? Or, my personal favorite, wait. Why do I have to pay 42% in taxes for services I don't even use? They're the contrarians who love to question everything, especially if they see a crowd chanting, bigger government is always better, which we have on both sides of the aisle. No one wants to admit it on the other side. All right, now, mini pop quiz. I know we don't like them, but you won't be graded too harshly. Question 1, true or false? A libertarian's favorite phrase is, live and let live, taxation is theft, where we're going, we don't need roads. The answer is probably all of the above. The real question is, do you have to agree with them to recognize a valid point? That's the thing about critical thinking and not jumping on the bandwagon. You can disagree wholeheartedly with their stance, but still appreciate the logic behind where they are coming from. Okay, let's get a bit silly here. Have you ever noticed that bandwagon thinking shows up in everyday life? I mean, the moment your favorite local social media influencer starts selling miracle kale chips, which we see it all the time, look at your Kylie Jenners. And suddenly everyone is posting kale selfies. Then you think, do we actually like kale chips, or are we just too afraid to be the odd one out on Instagram? I have no problem being the odd man out. I actually enjoy it because it's refreshing to be authentic. The same kind of phenomenon happens in politics. Sometimes a policy idea becomes popular not just because people looked at it, at the data, or tested the hypothesis, but simply because everyone else around them said, yup, this is the way to go. Maybe your neighbor thinks we should ban plastic bags here in Chicago. Then your other neighbor hears it, likes it, and shares it, and before you know it, half the town is chanting, down with plastic baggies. Yeah, that doesn't work. And sometimes, hey, they might be in a solid move to say this is actually not a bad idea, but sometimes no one pauses to double check if that move actually solves the problem or just makes us feel good. Libertarians such as myself are notorious for saying, hold on, folks, let's not ban every single thing. Maybe let's figure out the root cause or let the market do its magic. I'll be talking about a video Wednesday about the correlation causation fallacy. And now, my friends, the moment you all been waiting for, the part of the show where we see if you are smarter than a libertarian. Let's imagine a hypothetical scenario. A town council proposes a 20% increase to fund a city-wide goat yoga initiative. You've all seen it, like puppy yoga, pig yoga, all that stuff. Yes, goat yoga, like yoga, but with goats climbing on your back. Highly Instagrammable if you just look it up. Everyone seems to love the idea. Get your goat on. The entire city's excited. Now, as a budding critical thinker, if you subscribe to this channel, which I highly suggest you do if this is your first time watching, do you, A, jump on the bandwagon and say, that's so fun, sign me up, tax me more so I can do downward dog with an actual goat? Or pause and investigate. Wait, how many people actually requested goat yoga? Have we measured the cost-benefit analysis? What about people who are allergic to goats or folks who already have back problems that might get worse with hoofed creatures prancing around? And goats love to jump. If you've ever seen them, they love to jump and love to jump on stuff. Now, let's channel our inner libertarian here. Who decided goat yoga is so essential that we need a tax for it? Can we just pay for the goat yoga class privately if we really wanted it? I mean, that's how most things should be done. If you answer 2 or 3, you're well on your way to questioning the bandwagon and maybe scoring more points on this show than expected. Because being smarter than a libertarian doesn't mean you dismiss all the services or public good. It means you can weigh the popularity of a trend against whether it actually makes sense. You understand that just because everyone is on the hype train doesn't mean the train is heading in the right direction. Look at the 4B movement here in America after Trump became president. Just look at it and it completely died off. Now, we've covered a lot here in this short period of time. The bandwagon fallacy, how it sneaks into politics, and how libertarians love them or hate them are often the ones waving the red flag saying, wait, let's think this through. It might drive the rest of you crazy sometimes, but hey, at least it keeps a healthy tension between, yes, that's popular, and, but is it actually good? And to me, that's what being smarter than a libertarian truly means. You can hear even the contrarians challenge the status quo and avoid blindly hopping on the next hype train without a seatbelt. So, folks, whether you're a proud libertarian, a curious moderate, or a kale chip influencer who's decided to pay taxes in llama spit, remember this. Popularity isn't proof of correctness, and that's the moral of the bandwagon fallacy story. If you had fun, learned something new, or maybe just realized you're spending way too much time on goat yoga, subscribe to Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? Give this video a big thumbs up and share with all your bandwagon loving friends, because ironically, I do want this show to become super popular, but for the right reasons. I don't want it to be clickbaity and give you a title that doesn't say anything when you get into the meat of the video. Thank you for tuning in to Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? New videos drop every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm going to be doing new stories on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sundays. Until next time, stay free, stay informed, and stay accountable. Have a great day.